Hi guys, Renee here. I wanted to show you the understitching technique, and I thought this would be the best way to do it while I'm working on a pocket. I'm going to disappear, and this is the first time I've ever videoed myself, so who knows if it's even going to turn out. So I'm going to set you down, I'm going to disappear off screen, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. What I already did, so this is an exterior pocket, and I'm working on a 1541 cotton fabric that I've lined with woven fuse, and the lining is waterproof canvas. So I have already stitched the seam, the top seam. So when you understitch, what you do, and it doesn't matter how many seams you have, you could have, like on the Hitchhiker, we had the seams, and then we also had the additional zipper plus the zipper, the outside binding, the trim edge that went with it too. So what you do is you take your lining, all right, and here's your seam, and you keep the outside fabric separated, and you just lay this out like this, and it's like a top stitching on the lining side. And I am going to adjust my stitch length now to between 4.5 and 5, all right? And then you go right along this edge, and you're catching your sleeve, you're catching your seam in there, and you're going to stitch right along here, catching that seam in on the lining. So you're going to stitch at about 1/8 of an inch and go right straight along that edge. And this is called understitching. What it does is it holds this down flat, the lining down flat. Now, in the old days, I mean, this was done on underarm seams with facings. You can do this on the top of a handbag. If you have a domestic and you can't top stitch, so this is what it looks like, okay? And see, this is free. So then now what's going to happen, you can press this down, you can finger press it. Now, here's another thing I don't like to do. On a pocket, you see how normally now we'll do this, and then we could top stitch, and see how flat it, like none of this pressing. See how flat it lies all by itself. All right, you see how easy it goes down? Look at how flat it lies. Of course, this is cotton, but it doesn't matter. It'll do the same thing no matter what we're working with. But here's what I don't like to do. And I know y'all are gonna look at your bags now. What I don't like to do is I don't like to see the top of this pocket. So what I will do, and usually I trim the bottom of this to pull this down, is I will pull this down so that you don't see the top of your lining. Some patterns are made this way. Some patterns will drop this down maybe as much as an inch. So at the top, you don't see the lining. You see it works as its own facing. It's self-facing, if that makes any sense. So then now we can either top stitch right here. We could do a trim edge. We could put a trim edge like this down over the top on the exterior. I do trim edges on all my interior pockets. So that's how we can finish this exterior pocket in here. And you see when you pull it down, you don't see the lining when it opens up. So that's it. That's understitching, and it works very effectively. Thank you.